Game Woven is now proudly part of the One Shot Network. Check out other great podcasts at oneshotpodcast.com.
Previously on Game Woven, Overton's time in the twins' cradle began to draw to a close. From the ancient ziggurat, and in honor of the fury and spite of the now-dead prince of a now-dead people, artifact weapons were added to the arsenal of the fledgling army, soon to be fighting the undying empire. The spirit of the King in Green departed his tree, and for the first time, the leaves of the giant oak began to fall. The fairies likewise dispersed, some to the bridge and some to parts unknown. Many, both human and fae, decided they would rather face the winter and make a new home on the lands of the Velicolum. There was many a farewell as the King in Green's oak settled itself in the bridge's center, and Overton begins its final preparations to return to its ancient home.
The next prompt, to breathe. Someone comes up with an ingenious solution to a big problem, and as a result, a project finishes early. What was their idea? Or, someone comes up with a plan to ensure safety and comfort during the coldest months. Start a project related to this.
I think I'm going to do the second one, because we do have people leaving the bridge. We do have people who are choosing to stay and not go into the wars that are going to need a way to survive here. We don't know when winter will end here. So I'm gonna say it'll take 2 turns, so we won't necessarily get to see the end of it, but they start taking whatever structures exist left here in the town and work on repairing and making sure people have a safe and warm place to stay if they choose to stay behind or have a way to get somewhere better. Making sure they have like food and basic supplies, whatever can be spared, since there's no way of knowing when they'll see other people again after the bridge leaves.
And you're saying that'll take about 2 turns, so that will not finish by the time we do.
Nope.
Okay.
It will be partially done, and it'll probably be what the Overtonians, but the people who are staying on the bridge are able to contribute after that. It'll be up to those who decide to stay.
Right.
But they'll need to learn to survive there anyway. But they are getting help getting stuff set up from the people of the bridge.
Question. How would the people of the bridge feel about leaving behind one of the mirrors with those who are staying to reform the twin cradles?
Thank God.
Or creating a new mirror, kind of.
Yeah. There's no way they haven't, by this point, figured out how to, so I think that is part of it. They do, like, find some small way to be able to communicate with the people who are staying behind.
Nice. That's cool.
Ooh, obsidian mirror, I like that.
The Black Mirror, a symbol of those left behind.
But not forgotten.
I don't know. That's kind of provocative.
Yeah. Netflix might have something to say about it.
I will fight Netflix. They raised my prices again. Come at me.
For real, though.
But they actually...
I believe you.
Would you like to start a project, discover something new, or host a discussion? Oh.
My project ticks down first.
Your project ticks off! Alright!
Yeah, so the small team of probably like 3 or 4 people following the orders of the one person who can tell a bone from stone finally get the last of the bones off of these spikes, off of these pillars, deposit them in the river so they can have whatever burial they can, like find peace in whatever afterlife they're in. And I think one of the other people who had volunteered to help realize is something about these pillars is they kind of like they vibrate or hum, and if you stand close enough to them, you can hear conversations. That's in a language people don't recognize, and I think these might be resonating with something somewhere else.
There is gonna be some kind of effect to the river. So whoever the people we're staying by who are gonna need that river, there's gonna be some weird shit going on with a bunch of boats dissolving in it.
Memories.
Yeah, I mean, the boats will be swept downriver, but who knows what they'll be able to learn from these spikes that resonate with conversation that's either coming from another time or another place. They don't really know yet.
Did they put the bones on the pillars to stop the voices in their heads?
No one knows who put the bones on the pillars. If you're standing next to them is when you're able to hear, and if you're trying to listen. Basically anywhere else in Velicolum, it's not an issue.
So it is now dubbed the Valley of Echoes. Not to be confused with the Plateau of Echoes.
Which is now silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I get to do my action.
Once again, not ominous at all.
Big Bree turn.
I've been sitting on this one for a while. I'm gonna discover something new, because there's this thing that Rob drew in Before the Flood that kind of makes me think of a house. Almost like a roof in sort of the middle of the right-hand side.
Uh-huh.
One of the people who are staying behind just goes and they're like gathering supplies near there, and they see someone. And the discovery they make is many of the people that lived in this valley were warned and went into hiding before the Empire came.
Oh.
So they have been hiding in this underground place, some of them traveling elsewhere through these tunnels for a long time. And as the last leaves fell, they started to realize, okay, we can come out now. The King in Green is left. We can come out, and so this provides people who could join the bridge, who have knowledge from other places, the people who called this place home, as well as potentially a way for those who stay behind to get elsewhere, to be safe, to leave and flee if they have to. And when asked how they knew, no one knows the name of who told them. Just the story passed down that one day they were visited by a ghost of some sort. Someone they didn't remember, they just remembered that a warning came that something was coming. And they were able to hide.
Bree, are you making another mysterious ghost woman?
No, it's just straight up the Wraith. It's the same one.
Another
Okay, cool.
mysterious ghost woman? No.
Because I think there's 3? I've lost track.
I've got a couple of mysterious figures who no one knows what their name is or where they came from, and they're all feminine and magical. I'll figure out what I'm doing with that eventually.
No, I'm
the
down.
kissing one.
Maybe it wasn't everyone, but they were able to get some people to safety.
I was gonna say a biblical comparison would be Noah's Ark in this case.
Maybe they had just enough time to get some people to safety, like those who were not able to fight. Some people chose to stay and fight for their homes, but this is where they sent, like, those who couldn't fight.
The tragedy would be the part we can't see, which, once again, going back to Noah's Ark thing, of them going, hey, we swear everyone's gonna die. Please believe us. No one did, and one family is.
It could even be the warning was your home is doomed. You can be safe, but anyone who goes there, you will not be able to see your home again until it is beyond saving to your recognition. You won't be able to come back until everything you recognize has changed in a way you can't fit.
Whoever made it underground has been underground for a while. And yeah, it doesn't have to be everyone. Everyone seems a little too much, but maybe there were some people who were able to get away and survive. They still lost everything. They have been alone and hiding for who knows how long. And they've been there since the Empire came and very thoroughly destroyed everything, waiting for some chance to come out. And it shows that even when it looks like all is lost, there's still some hope left. Like, Velicolum is still gone, but there were at least some people who were able to escape that destruction.
Also, I would just like to say, I don't think sometimes a thing can just be, without adding anything or subtracting anything to the narrative. I just made a mushroom man named Glyphus Pippus. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to erase the tragedy of this. I do see how it very much came across like that at first.
That was a fully valid concern to bring up.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these are just the survivors of war.
Gotcha. And also, not only that, but an underground fortress that they have potentially retreat to. Which is pretty cool.
I don't even know if it would be an underground fortress. Like, it might just be a bear cave sufficient for a few families. I am picturing something very meager.
It's a bunker.
It's just offshoots from the catacombs.
And there's a tunnel that goes somewhere. No one knows where that tunnel goes.
Don't
Right.
follow the tunnel.
Yeah.
But it's just...
We've had so much shit going on that if these people survive the bridge leaving, digging out whatever the hell's going on in this place is a real fascinating prospect.
So, we already established there was a big ass prism thing that was meant to keep people in suspended animation. This was the beta test.
Like a crystal cavern of some sort, maybe?
A crystal cavern, you say?
I mean, that solves the mirror problem.
I like it.
Maybe it's they're awake in some sort of stasis, but it's only as long as you're there, but it could help people survive.
They found a super tiny mini version of the prism cavern thing.
What if they were being sustained by the tree?
Could be.
Here's a thought. Maybe connect a couple of things. After the Empire took the prism, the people who live there, and we can then say, we can throw this, the flood as such was 100 or 200 years in the past, and maybe the people who lived under have been in, suspended, but they've been living very slowly. And so when they come out, it's yeah, we've been down there for 2 years. What's going on up here? And they're what was here? What was here the last time you were up?
Oh, honey, no.
Oh, sweet baby. Unfortunate.
Yeah, the King Green powering that spell, that slowing time. The fairies then reforming themselves to keep that in place really kind of draws a couple of pieces together.
Yeah, I like the idea that the cave of the crystals that the prism was made out of, but it's the raw magical effect. The natural
raw
effect
version of it, yeah.
is it just slows down.
Yeah.
And it could even be that the preservation tomb also slowed it down, but instead of a 1 to 100 ratio, it was a 1 to 10,000 ratio, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Because they found a way to harness, to focus the power of the crystal so that it could
Mhm.
have the effect of the prism. And now we
Yeah.
definitely have to get that away from the Undying
I can
Empire.
see why the Empire would want that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I like the King and Green connection of what if it's the King and Green who sealed it, right? It wasn't the effect.
Kept
The
them
effect is
hidden.
ambient, but the King and Green they got in, hid, and then the King and Green just covered it up, and now that they're gone, they could be found again.
Gotcha. Which would explain why they weren't found sooner. Yeah.
That could be when he melded with the tree.
Yeah, and the King and Green decided that he was okay to go because these people
He
now
trusts
have
these
a
people.
place to go. Yeah, he trusts this collection of weirdos.
That was even a conscious decision by them.
Does Glippus Pippus know about the crystal caves?
Glippus Pippus knows a lot and refuses to say anything
Of course.
Okay, we'll make him talk.
on account of he
With
forgot.
kindness.
I feel like Glippus Pippus is racist against a specific type of rabbit.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
like
That's a bad take.
Like, you can't say that, Glippus.
Glippus was told not to tell anybody about the people living underground. And what Glippus remembers is that they're not supposed to say anything.
Uh-huh.
And they cannot for the life of them remember what they're not supposed to say. And you will never get that piece of information out of them.
My theory was Glippus Pippus has a memory span of 1 day. So
Oh no! That's how you can keep giving him the same leaves.
they know like the truths about themselves. Like they are Glippus Pippus. They have the sacred duty. They like to eat leaves. They like to pile up the leaves before they eat them. But like
If you
every day
unlock
is
the
the
memory
newest,
of Glippus
is-
Pippus. It's all over for every.
Every day is the first day of Glippus Pippus's life.
Glippus Pippus, he, they confirmed.
Perfect.
Mushroom.
Sure.
I don't know.
Just a little creature.
Glippus Pippus, pronouns himbo they.
Glippus Pippus's pronouns are Glippus and Pippus. Like, I don't like.
Yes. I was about to say.
Whatever you refer to Glippus Pippus as.
Somehow is completely accurate in the moment.
I think you must refer to Glippus Pippus, full name Glippus Pippus at all times.
Oh, we used a definite article for
Ooh.
Glippus Pippus. No
Yeah.
pronouns.
But what if you want to
Yeah.
befriend them and go Glippy Pippy?
They'll kill you, I think.
They will
Murder.
actually stab
That's
you.
a chance I'm willing to take.
Don't misgender Glippus Pippus.
Glippy Pippy's actually their dead name.
There's one person who can get away with it. There's one person on the bridge, and it's because they know exactly what kind of plant leaf feed him, feed them, where they will accept the nickname, and it's probably super deadly. But he's just like yum 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 yum.
I like Lex's nonstop head shaking that we keep coming up with Glippus Pippus deep lore.
We love our funky little guys.
Glippus
okay?
Pippus now has a longer character entry than most fighting game characters.
Mhm.
Like Glippus.
Yeah.
Pick your character.
I fully intend to make Glippus Pippus stickers.
Yes.
Yay!
Pippus?
We got a mascot.
All right, we got the silly out.
No.
Zad, are
Yeah.
you? No, we never
Bring us
actually have the
home.
silly out. It
Look,
just goes dormant.
Simultaneously, I create Glippus Pippus and then also get exasperated with the Glippus Pippus bit.
I saw it. I saw the moment.
You never expect us to run with it as much as.
I don't know how I'm both these people in the group.
You contain multitudes, Lex.
As you're special.
Inside you are 2 wolves.
One is Glippus, the other is.
Oh no!
Been gone before we break Lex.
All right, Zad, are you ready for your prompt?
I'm ready.
So that was not the Frost Shepherds, but this is the last prompt because I've only got one card left. Zad, what is winter like in this area? How do community members react to the weather?
And this is one that I gave a lot of thought to because I rejected it earlier and decided to wrap back around to it. And so come with me on this little walk here. The snow covers the brambles and log palisade where the king in green once stood. The black canal steams, obscuring its scar on the horizon, the way south, nothing but endless white. For the first time since time out of mind, the waterfalls slow and then stop, freezing in sheets and jagged spikes. The way to the catacombs open, grim, inviting. The snow drifts and mounds beneath the bridge, making powdery cairns to a people that was but is no longer, marked only by the still warm footfalls of the gravekeeper as she collects, baptizes, and interns those who none came after to care for. Those who will remain will follow after, tentatively making the ruins homes anew. The laughter of children playing on the plateau was the first sound ring across the cradle since the slaughter of the lowing goats. Weeks later, As the days and the hearts darken in the winter chill, a band assembles in the afternoon sunset. An ingenious array of drums made from shimmering translucent lizard skin, a collection of tubes, gears, bellows, and keys. Two stringed instruments that look for all the world very similar but nothing alike. The leader takes up their new pipe, a gift from the fairies after their capers broke the old one, carved from an arrow reed played in the prison of Fort Lenadia before their journey began. The piper touches the broken halves in their pocket, calls out the tune, counts the beat. First, a few stop to listen, then a few begin to dance. The world moves slowly in winter, as it is time for rest. But we are people of all seasons, and we need to indulge spring's frivolity and summer's passions to remember that amid the death and cold, we are still alive, but only resting. Soon the trickle of dancers becomes a flood. Musicians join those on the plateau with their own instruments strange and familiar, or taking up ones that have been laid aside, so the torrent of frenzied song is unimpeded, cascading across the bridge and down the cliffs, raising a cavorting haze of sporadic revelers and rattling timbers. A light flickers above the fireflies' graves as the ever-vigilant Kore is moved to join in the dance. No dance can last forever. Footsore and exhausted by ones and twos and several by many, they leave the dance for a quieter place. The fires burn low. There is the last of the food and the drink, but war is coming. It returns to our minds, and the discussion is held. What are we ready to die for?
My family has been on this bridge since it left the Bronze Hollow. I could sit and regale the stories my parents told me and their parents told them of all of the wondrous places this bridge has been. But none of those stories would interest me more when I believe this place would have been we had been here sooner. I look and I see the tree just had to leave its home, a tomb bereft of its magic, and I'm ready to fight to keep places wondrous so that more than just one community on the bridge can live in that.
My family were Veracqui. They did not survive to see the bridge come, but I did. And my whole life, I thought that there was one enemy great enough to do what it's done here. And now that I've seen that there are enemies everywhere, and all they want to do is devour and destroy and take everything that is good out of the world. And I don't want them to.
We were here back when this place was wondrous. We know what it was. I know what it was before the Empire came. There is much wonder and much good in the world, and it's still here. I'm willing to fight for that good. And we may not have been able to stop what happened, but maybe this time, the time will be right for us to stand and stop the tide of change. It's time for more hope and whimsy in the world.
I've been on this bridge for a long time. I have seen many lands, many travelers. I have seen the freedom, the ability to go anywhere has given us. And I wish to see more people travel with that same freedom and same purpose. But I know there are those who wish to lay claim to the lands between, and I will not stand by it. I would die so that they may live the life of freedom I have been given.
The piper takes the broken halves of the arrow reed pipe out of their pocket I'm not ready to die. For anything, really. There are ghosts in my walls, and they scream me to sleep. When I play them a song, sometimes they'll tell me their troubles, and it's the same troubles it's always been. Except sometimes it isn't. Some of those places were better than any of the places that we've seen. And just like you, I want to see them all. I want to go there. I want to learn the songs that they've got. And I want to make the people dance. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do after the fucking war's over. I ain't going down like this. And when we get there, when we finally got that better world that we've been going for, when we get there, once it's over, once the world's better, I'm gonna call out the tune, and I'm gonna call out the beat, and I'm gonna play the songs for whatever new world we've got. I'm not ready to die, but I will. That's what it takes.
I've been here since my mother created me. I was given to the mortals as a sign of faith and a sign of protection. But as all mortals do, they misuse what is given to them. Yet, Mother bade that I return when they needed me most. I bore them away from their oppressors, from nation to nation, across time and space, growing, changing. I have no true family but those on the bridge. And I will die for them. I use the last of my magic to bring them home. So they may fight, so they may die, so they may be the people Mother knew they could be. I am a spirit of travel, community, peace, and joy. But the one thing I was born to do was to take these people where they need to be. So I will die.
Lex, was that the voice of the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the nothing else. That's it, right?
Yeah, the next card is the arrival of the Frost Shepherds, which in this scenario is the departure of the Overton Bridge. And I think we see the people left behind. The people of the Obsidian Mirror, or whatever they'll eventually start calling themselves. They are down in the valley, and one moment they're looking away, tending to their work, and then when they look back up, the bridge is gone. There's no fanfare, there's no loud crash, nor peal of trumpets, no flash of light. It's just gone, and the tree with it. And we follow the river southward, through all of the fragments of bone deposited, as it grows wider and wider, as more tributaries are added in, until winter fades to spring, not due to the changing of the seasons, but due to the changing of the latitude. And for a brief moment along our journey, there is sunshine and fish. It's fresh and clear. And then it grows dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until we arrive at the gray skies of Zalo, where this very long history began for the show going on a year and a half ago. For the people on this journey, centuries. And the people of the Bronze Hollow Valley look down to their work for a moment, and they look up, and the bridge has returned. Was it the bridge caller, or was it something else? And in its incredible grandeur, it has changed. The centuries have made it grow. It is sturdier, with multiple layers, a city on it, and a great tree whose roots extend down into the tunnels of Basberg, gripping deeply as a final promise from De Gale and the spirit that De Gale sent to shepherd these people, that this bridge will never leave again.
And the sun comes out.
But the work isn't over.
And there's a young man holding a staff, and he says, "How do you guys feel about breakfast for dinner?"
And we see that figure that we haven't seen in some time. Just like, I knew this day would come. I've been looking forward to it.
Ghost women, ghost women, ghost women.
And that was an approximation of The Quiet Year by Avery Adler. We wouldn't be a world-building podcast if we didn't play The Quiet Year, but we're not gonna play it straight.
We wouldn't be
Nope.
game woven if we didn't make it weird.
Took a while to get to it, took a while to get through it, but we did it our way.
We did it our way.
Which
It's
is
only gonna be
never
like 12
straight.
episodes. Yeah.
That is the conclusion of the Traveling Bridge arc, our largest, most complicated, and I would say grandest arc so far.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in a couple of weeks for Cross Stitch. Who knows how many parts this Cross Stitch is going to be,
Oh boy.
where we go through and recap the Traveling Bridge as best as we can. Thank you all. We have been Game Woven, and great news, will continue to be so.
Oh, thank God.
No
That we
kidding.
will.
All right, bye guys.
I
See
like
you
All
in
right,
the
bye,
Empire.
everybody.
See you in the Empire.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you for listening to Game Woven, a collaborative storytelling collective building a world one game at a time. If you like what we're doing, please go give us a review on your favorite podcasting app and be sure to tell your friends about us. And you can also support us over on Patreon. Today we played Quiet Year by Avery Adler, featuring me, Brianna Jean, Emily Anderson, TT Benjamin, Robbie Rowling, and Zed Kiel.